Hey guys, there is something that I'd like to talk to you guys about. Warning, don't do what I did. This video will contain kid exposure, nudes, being showed gore, pornography, sexual stuff. Viewer discretion is advised. So, how this all started out, I was friends with this kid, we'll call Bird, because his name was based off a bird and I would call him that sometimes. I was also friends with this other kid we'll call Wolf because I thought her name was really badass. I was new to this school, and Bird was from my old school, and I was surprised he came to my new school. Bird and I decided to become friends a little, then one of my other friends decided to join, Wolf decided to come into the friend group, and more. We were 5 months in, and then it started to go downhill. You see, Bird would argue a lot with me about stupid topics. And Wolf said she wasn't on anyone's side until she started to defend Bird, and I called her out about it, and she didn't say anything. We made a whole group to talk to each other, not fight. Then one time, everything went down. Wolf said something, I don't know exactly what she said, but it definitely wasn't appropriate, if I could guess. She must have said, "I'll flash my tits on screen if you don't stop." Then Bird said, "Prove it." I didn't want anything to do with it. I just wanted to watch what they did, not see what they had. Then they were saying, "Hey, you should do it! Come on, do it, do it!" To me, and I clearly felt uncomfortable, and told them no, and they kept going. I eventually gave in, I said, as long as Bird isn't in the call, I will. So I was in a private call with Wolf, and she showed me her body part on her chest, and she was waiting for me to do it. I did the same as she did, and that was basically it. So, we put Bird back in the call, and it was his turn. He said he'd do it as long as I wasn't in the call. So I left and came back when they were done. So from what Wolf told me, he showed his body part below his waist, and that call was done. I felt cool after that, but I also felt very guilty. I didn't know who to come to. My friends were most likely going to keep it a secret. It was basically a call for help, but I didn't know how to express my feelings. Drawing was the only thing to escape reality at that time. I talked to my grandma about it. She had dementia, so I figured she was going to forget it. But I eventually came to my mom about it. I told her everything. I knew she was pissed, but it was for the best. The thing was, I told a dean is an assistant principal, about it, and he just kept it a secret. But my mom was pissed at him because she thought it would have been better if he told her afterwards. That's what made her really pissed. She said, "I don't want you talking to him, looking at him, even breathing near him." She wanted that dean to die. She hated him. So I'm going to talk more about them because I know you already know. I talked to the school about it, blah, blah, blah. Wolf showed me a site where it showed a woman dying on film, no censor or anything. It was called Ms. Pac-Woman because her face, well, looked like a Pac-Man face. It scarred me for life. Or when a man had broken up with his ex and he ended up shooting himself in a game. Definitely. She would show this gore to me, not too often to the point I didn't want to see it. She just watched it to watch it. Or one time, where she said she shared her iPad with her dad. And she showed me a literal film on pornography of her dad having S3X with his tattoo artist, a female. It had a close-up for some reason. She watched it when she was 5, she said. One time, Bird and I were on the bus going back to school after going on a field trip. He was showing me his location that was close to our school, and he said, "Yeah. So that's where I live, so you can go over there, grape me, do whatever you want." Did he just say rape? You may ask. Yes. Yes. He did. I would never, ever want to do that to somebody, especially my friend. He was saying it in a joking manner, but it wasn't funny. Raping someone isn't funny at all. And if that has ever happened to you, please reach out to somebody about it, even me. I don't want you feeling uncomfortable with this channel at all. Let's move on. On my friend's side of the story, since I left the group chat, had said Bird would send dick pics of himself. Wolf once told me, she doesn't keep secrets at all, that Bird said on a text message, "I trust you more, so—" And it shows a picture of him on the toilet, no clothes on. It shows a top view of him. And Wolf said, since we were on call, "Ha ha! He looks like a girl with a vagina! Ha ha!" Bitch, what? One day, Wolf decided to go on a site. It was like Omegle, but unblocked. Every time she was going to go on that site, she'd always say, "You know what time it is," and our group chat would always tell her not to go on that site. Wolf decided to call me, and we both decided to go on the site. Mind you, this site would show men stroking their dicks on film. So this one time when she was there, it was a man literally ing a fucking baby. Mind you, it was fucking live. The baby was crying. I told Wolf to show me because I thought she was lying. Wolf was in shock. The man said he was her babysitter. The baby. Wolf kept telling the man to stop. Then he said, "Show me those small TTs. Maybe I will." She obviously didn't because that's fucking disgusting. I will never forget that day. And to the man who did that, go fuck your life.